Hi, my name is M.J. Bradshaw. I am a sophomore at Lincoln College Preparatory Academy. I use they, their pronouns, and I am the author of Murder on the Transcontinental Express.
Hi, and I'm Cynthia Hardeman with Dramatime KC, and I also teach drama at Allen Village High School. I am playwright mentor, director mentor for Murder on the Transcontinental Express, written by M.J. Bradshaw. I started with the Playwrights Lab with M.J. Bradshaw, and they had this wonderful piece that they wanted to write, going back to like olden times, old trains, totally vintage type of Murder on the Orient Express, but not. And so MJ had the idea. I helped MJ flesh out some of the plot, issues that they had with the story, and came out to be a very funny, wonderful piece. MJ's got a very unique voice, and it's funny. You're gonna love it.
So this particular piece was not, the name makes you think that it would be inspired by Murder on the Orient Express. That is not what this play is inspired by. It is inspired by the My Little Pony episode, inspired by Murder on the Orient Express, which is very silly. I recognize that is very silly, but it is kind of just what was the catalyst to me making it, because I was thinking of ideas and I was like, I'd really want to write a murder mystery based on this one episode of My Little Pony, but actually a murder because they couldn't do a murder on a kids show.
I believe mentorship is very important in allowing a safe space for the teen actor, playwright, director, writer, for them to be able to safely get their voice out, the unique thing that they feel that they want to tell, with other people who've also been able to get that story out and tell that story. So I think it's great that Spinning Tree has decided to, with young people, to have them start early, telling their stories and getting their voices out. Because believe it or not, a lot of times we think young people are on TikTok doing nothing, aren't really thinking about anything. They have some amazing insight and some serious issues that, they think about and they care about. And when you get them to write those things down, then you can really hear their voices. And so I think it's wonderful that you're doing this.
It's really important to me to learn from someone who knows what they're doing. So it was really helpful to have someone who actually knows how writing for a stage works, instead of it just being me in a room by myself, not entirely sure what's going on, because it does really help to have a writing partner. I've never worked with a writing partner before. It's always really just been me. But having the person to be like, hey, maybe you should change this and make it this instead, it would be funnier. Or maybe make this the line because that would work better for stage. Or make this line different because that doesn't work necessarily. It's helpful to have someone who has the experience that I don't, so I can I actually have a kind of build up to what I'm working with. The show is very silly, but it's also very impactful to me as a queer person. It's kind of like, I want to make sure that people who are queer see themselves in the things that I write. So I encourage you to find yourself in the characters of the show and to come up with your own theories about with the characters in the show and how they would interact, because that is something that I know I do as a person, and I think that would be very fun to hear what y'all think.
I hope that people would take from it, with what is discussed in it, that everyone be comfortable with who they are, and expressing themselves as they are. And a lot of times it's a very fearful thing to do, because you don't know how the world is going to respond to you. But it's just like writing. When you write that story, you don't know how the world's going to take that story, but being brave enough to get it out there so that someone can hear your voice is the same thing. Be brave enough to be yourself, and so that the world can receive you as who you are, genuinely.
We all love you, and thank you so much for supporting Spinning Tree Theater's Young Playwrights program.